Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in something we have not played in a very long time. We're in the Stalingrad, which just got a buff. So let's see how it plays, shall we? Now, I don't play the Stalingrad like everybody else does, and that's probably for the better, because other people, they're pretty boring to watch the Stalingrad. They get a lot of damage. It's very effective in what it does, much like the Petro. But I don't play like that. I play in more of a feast or famine sort of gameplay style, as you guys know, because it's entertaining to watch. So we're going to do just that in this one. And what you can see in this fight is just how powerful this ship can be, as well as, just how... I don't know that it needed a buff. I really don't. The ship is incredibly strong in what it's good at. It's just incredibly weak if you're dumb and you go broadside. Ask me how I know. We've got clips. Okay? They're all over there. They're everywhere. I have plenty of games where I have gone and gotten caught broadside. My Stalingrad got removed. Heck, this afternoon, one of my first games that I played in this thing since the buff, I got caught, over-angled slightly. GK punched me for half my hit points. Didn't last very long. It's just how it goes. If this thing gets caught, it will pay for it. Unlike Alaska, who gets overpinned a lot, this thing will absolutely get dev struck. So you got to be careful with it. Other than that, it's fantastic. Did it need HE? No. HE is a cop-out for anybody who doesn't know how to aim. And I'll say that as long as I want to. This freaking ship did not need HE. Sorry, Wargaming. I don't care what your numbers say. Your numbers are just bad players. That's all I'm saying. Because every time I take this thing out and get it into a decent position, and remember, I am hyper-aggressive in this thing. This thing is not meant to be played the way that I play it. Alright? But you can play this thing as a, bow-in sniper if you want. It's incredibly accurate. Also, hello, Napoli. You're completely broadside. I'm going to take this shot, aim ahead. Now, the one thing you got to remember is this thing shoots railguns. Alright? So... as you can see there, I think we got very unfortunate with that RNG to not Citadel the Napoli. He did turn in a little bit, so maybe he got lucky. But we are radaring, keeping him lit up while he's broadside, hoping to God that somebody on our team can assist us. He catches us here. You can see he gets a couple of Citadels as we were over-angled. But now we're in a position. I get to use the island. We were worried about torpedoes. Finally, we see the torps. We're fine. Now we are bow into the Napoli, bow into the Alaska. Alaska is broadside on. Speaking of buffs, let's see how it works out for him. Yeah, it doesn't matter. If you go broadside, you're going to get punished. We get a very lucky Citadel, if you ask me. He's flat broadside to us, but usually, especially with these railguns, I wouldn't expect to get the Citadel on the Alaska. Let's see if it was a fluke, shall we? As we go through the bow cheek, and there's the guaranteed Citadel, right? Like Judah's giving me the cheek. I go through the front side plating right into the Citadel. That is a much more likely scenario to Citadel in Alaska. Now, I do kind of screw up here. I'm expecting this Alaska to die. I've got two cruisers behind me and a battleship sitting there, right? I'm expecting some assistance. But the assistance never actually comes. They just never actually end up doing anything. My teammates on this side of the map are literally just non-aspects. They don't exist. You'll probably think about that later and laugh when you see the results, but trust me, when it comes down to effectiveness, these guys were ineffective. But we get set on a double fire here. It's not a big deal. We're in a cruiser. We'll get to put that fire out, but he is going to get another fire on us before this one's over. So we're going to go ahead and shoot him as he over-angles. We go through the belt. Unfortunately, don't get the Citadel. We managed to leave him with just enough. And again, this guy behind me, I don't think he's landed a single shot. I don't know who is aiming at this Alaska, but they are the worst shot. Okay, there they finally hit him. They are the worst shot I have ever seen out of a cruiser player. But unfortunately, Tulsa does yoink the kill from us. I mean, he didn't hit the guy until the very end, so there's that, I guess. But yeah, we are now at 20,000 hit points. We have 2 heals left, so we're doing okay. It does have a decent heal. It's not a great heal, but it's a decent heal for a cruiser. And Napoli is just kind of begging for it out here. The battleships are already starting to think about turning away. Our friendly Schlieffen is going to die to their Schlieffen. Please explain to me how our Schlieffen managed to die while I was being targeted by the Alaska, by the enemy Napoli. Napoli obviously doubled back, but how do you manage to die to a friend, or like an enemy Schlieffen? As basically, I don't understand it. I'll never understand. Napoli opens up the angle, we go through the cheek. I was really hoping for a Citadel there. A lot of times the Italian cruisers, you can sneak those shells through and get those Citadels. We showed it on the Alaska as well. Like it's pretty known that you can go through cheeks and get Citadels a lot easier than if somebody's flat broadside. But then he does the unthinkable and he just goes, yeah, I don't think I'll just go broadside here. And unfortunately, every single one of those shells hits the water. How is that possible? Guy is 5 kilometers away. I'm shooting railguns, and every single shell hits the water at 5 kilometers. What is that RNG? And then he's like, yeah, I'll just go broadside, and he dies. Shocker. Now, I'm not gonna lie. First thought in my mind, it's a Napoli. He's got torps on both sides of his ship. They're very slow torps, so I don't want to take the chance of getting torped here. I want to keep myself alive. Watch my team here. Notice that we radared early, and we had their destroyer spotted for a little bit, and he's like nowhere to be found. Like he's just AFK. He's on the other side of the map. Like, well, one of their destroyers over there. Our destroyer is literally in their cap right now. That is not a good place to be, right? Shima manages, though, to burn down the other enemy Shima. That's good. That's huge. So, while I don't necessarily agree with the fact that he's in the enemy cap, at least he's doing something, which is more than I can say about the 3 people behind me who have yet to actually make any significant impact in this match. There is something back. I can't remember what the battleship is back there. It's not the Schlieffen. Schlieffen's already dead. But rather than push around the horn, you're going to see me reposition. We're going to reverse. We're going to go into the center of the map. This is A, a quicker way for me to get where I need to be, and B, it's a good place to put myself in a crossfire. We talk about this all the time, but crossfires, guys, start trying to make them work for you. And the best part is, it's not always you that benefits from the crossfire. Sometimes the enemy will choose to battle tank you, in which case your teammates get the benefit of the crossfire. You're forcing them to react to you, so your teammates are in position to potentially take control of the crossfire. Now watch what my teammates do next. These guys, rather than follow me into the middle, where it's a much quicker route, these guys are going to take their sweet old time, go all the way around the world, as far away as possible, take their sweet old time, and it's sad. It really is. Like, I don't understand what they're doing. I guess they saw the destroyer's, like, last known position, and that's what they decided to do, but, like, there's nothing out there. There's nothing out there. They're just wasting their time. They see me radar here, right? This should tell you there's no destroyer there anymore. There's no reason for these guys to go around the corner. Heck, the cruisers could come right in here into this spot. They can shoot over the island. I can't. I don't have a choice. I have to push up to where I can actually shoot, as you saw. I tried to lob the island. One of the downsides of the Schlieffen's railguns, or the Stalingrad's railguns, is that you just can't lob those islands. But the upside is that it doesn't matter who decides to give you a broadside. It's gonna hurt him. Yama gets very lucky here. We get bad dispersion, and we catch him on the cheek at an angle, so we don't get the Citadel there. What happens next is what exactly should happen. Like, this guy is full broadside in a Yama to a Stalingrad. 305mm railguns. Good night, sunshine. Go back to port. Hello? It's a Stalingrad. You can't sleep on this thing. You just can't. It's got railguns. Who needs HE in this thing? Please. Please tell me when HE is actually a better option in the ship. 9 times out of 10, HE will almost certainly make you wish that you had AP. Those are my statistics. I will point this out later in this duel, by the way. This game. So we aim here. Watch the pin angles of this. We aim high. Need some penetrations. Another 6,700 damage. Like, what more could you ask for? This thing is nasty. Now here, obviously, we know that there's a battleship on our right? Like, we know that he's there. I'm very, very aware. Yama starts opening an angle. I'm expecting to get smacked here. I've got to be careful. I don't want to give him the Citadel, right? So we're trying to stay angled, bait him into shooting the belt. And fortunately for us, he only hits us with 2 overpins, so we're golden. Teammates are starting to move to a position where they're useful again. See what I mean? How long they've been out of the fight? Like, they've done nothing back there for so long. If they'd have just went into the middle, they'd have been shooting these guys this whole time. This game would be over by now. But they don't. Me, however, Yama goes down. I'm now in a position where there is a destroyer on my left. So I'm like, okay, I get a radar back in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to HE, and we get smacked by the enemy Frederick de Grossa. And again, this is going to point out to one of those situations where I'm like, every time you load HE in a ship, you are almost guaranteed to get a perfect broadside of somebody that makes you wish you had AP loaded. It never fails. It never fails. I see it over and over again. Aaron likes to shoot HE out of his battleships. How many times you watch, and I love Aaron, don't get me wrong, but he likes to shoot HE out of his Montana and stuff. How many times do you see him load HE and immediately go, oh, I wish I had AP loaded? It's a thing, right? Like, we all know what I'm talking about. I'm not the only one. It's not crazy. And this is such a good AP ship that you don't necessarily want to have HE loaded. Now here, obviously I was hoping my teammates would be in range to actually be useful by now, but they're not. I'm trying to turn away from the enemy destroyer because I need to get away from his torpedoes. I know that they're likely to come, so I'm trying to do that, but I also have to respect the fact that the enemy FDG is here, and of course, look at him on the map. Full broadside! If I had AP loaded right now, there's a good chance that I kill this man. You think I'm joking? I'm not. There is a very real possibility that I would Citadel this Frederick de Grossa multiple times and kill him. But unfortunately, we had HE loaded. We get a fire, he immediately extinguishes the fire, and now I am in a situation where I've got to use the island to try to cover us. We're still spotted by the destroyer because our two radars are sitting back in the back twiddling their thumbs. I know, it's crazy. But we're still spotted, and that's when the unbelievable torpedoes of the enemy get spotted. And that's GG. And I'm not gonna lie, little salty. Little salty here. Look at them! As soon as I get torped, that's when they decide to spot and radar and shoot and do things, right? Like, they were literally 5 kilometers away from this man. Like, they darn near spotted him line of sight. And you're gonna see me jump in chat and be like, guys, I really, really needed you guys. And you guys did nothing. I needed you. At any point during this match, they could have been useful. And now, I know if you look at the stats afterwards, you'll see, oh, this guy's got 2 kills, this guy's got 2 kills, this guy's got a kill. They clearly were the best players on the team. No, they literally just played cleanup. That's all. That's all they did. They played cleanup. They got the destroyer at the end. They get the Frederick de Grossa that has no hit points. And they managed to steal my Alaska kill without doing any damage to it leading up to it. Like, I don't know. I still have no idea how that guy managed to shoot that many shells at the Alaska without hitting him. Like, just watch that back. Just watch how many shells you see come in and hit the Alaska while we're fighting the Alaska. Like, it's just non-existent. It's like every shell was splashing off either side of the ship, completely missing him. It takes skill to be that bad at shooting in this game when you have auto-aim involved, especially in a cruiser. But we get second on the team. The Shima who charged the enemy cap and got rid of the enemy Shima gets top of the leaderboard. So, is what it is there. But 2,300 base XP in the Stalingrad. Didn't really ever get a chance to showcase the HE. It's fantastic HE, but the AP is just better in most situations. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think that my teammates were just on vacation? And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.